Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel here in Brick Township, New Jersey. And I have a treat for you guys today. We have Dave and Irene from Carry On Vagabond here, and they're going to give us a little tour today of their 2016 Roadtrek Zion SRT and tell us a little bit about what they're doing here, their lifestyle, and maybe some tips for our viewers. Hello, welcome to New Jersey Outdoor Adventures.
Patrick,
hey.
Yeah.
This is our first time behind the camera, apparently. Yeah, so what are we doing here? Why are we here?
Well, we're in New Jersey because as much as we love this van, we had an opportunity to build our own custom van. So we met George from Humble Road, YouTube channel Humble Road, and we've known him for a while. And so we are building our dream custom van with George, and we've been here for a few months, and we probably have a few more months to go. But this has been our home for, I guess, next month, 4 years.
Yeah.
It has flown by.
Yeah, now we didn't intend to be full-time when we bought this van. We actually had two homes. And we thought we would part-time in Oregon, part-time in Nevada, take this rig out. We traded both our vehicles in on it. So this is our daily driver. We thought we'd take it out on little trips here and there. But what happened is we took it out for a 3-month winter, our first long trip.
Yeah, so I retired 4 years ago. She owned a business, a retail business on the Oregon Bayfront for almost 20 years. And we just decided enough's enough, we're done. And so we sold everything, big house, and bought a little condo on the Oregon coast and a little condo outside of Las Vegas. And we wanted to have a small camper van. We had no idea, we knew nothing about camper vans. I didn't know the difference between a Winnebago and a Pleasureway and a Roadtrek. Didn't have a clue. Went to a dealer and I drove several of them. But in 2016, the only one, I'm not sure what the status of the others are now, but in 2016, the only one I could find on the short 2500 chassis was the Roadtrek Zion SRT. Roadtrek makes the full-size Zion, but this is the shorter one. And since we thought we were going to be spending our time between these two condos, we fit in a normal parking spot. So that was probably the biggest reason that we fell into the SRT. Yeah. Plus, we like the layout, and in fact, we've looked at a lot of RVs, been to RV shows, and there's some beautiful RVs out there, but as far as the layout, we haven't found anything that we like better than this one. It just works for us and our lifestyle. And
for us.
Yeah, everyone's lifestyle is different. You know, it depends on what kind of gear you take with you, how you travel, where you travel. And for us, we're always, I mean, we have mountain bikes and inflatable paddle boards and backpacking gear, and so we can store it in this pretty well. And I think,
yeah, so the first 3 months we took off, we left Nevada. We thought we didn't have an agenda. We just thought we would go wander for 3 months and come back. So we did that. We ended up in Florida, came back to Nevada. We got back to our place there, sat down on the couch for about 2 days, and then stared at each other and thought, this sucks. We gotta get out of here.
We went for 3 months. We had no plans. We took all back roads. We averaged 80 miles a day, and we worked down the coast, and we crossed the southern border all the way into the Florida Panhandle. Mm-hmm. And we had like adventure after adventure after adventure, and met some amazing people, and made lifelong friends in that short trip. And it was hard to get back to a condo, and I found myself watching TV. I'm like, this is really
felt like
dumb.
we were wasting time, and
yeah,
we know there's not an infinite number of days, though we don't know how many days, but it didn't feel right to be wasting them. So.
Yeah, so we packed the van up and left. We didn't see that condo again for 10 months.
And between now and then, we've sold both condos, so this is our home.
So far, we love, people ask us, how long are you going to do this? Like, I guess until we don't want to. You know, so for us, it's been amazing. We love this van, but we like to have something a little bigger, a little heavier duty. So this is on the 2500 chassis. I guess that's a 3/4 ton. And the new one's going to be on the heavy duty 3500 chassis. So it's going to be a bit longer. And then being full-time and a cyclist, I have no room inside for my bikes. And like today, it's pouring rain, and my bikes get rained on and one of the other bikes is in the shop right now. But so the new van is going to have a platform bed with bike trays, so I can pull the bikes out, keep them in nice and dry. Because when we're down, say in the wintertime in like the Gulf Coast, stainless steel rusts down there. I mean, it's like it's brutal when it's near the coast there. So, and then in the desert, dirt roads, they just get nasty. So it'll be nice to have things tucked inside. So that's probably the biggest reason. It's a little more size and more storage designed around us, but the layout will be very close to this. So this is it, not a lot here. It's pretty basic. It's this comes with the rear-facing sofa, so typically if you wanted the sofa, it's across the back, and then you got a button you push and it comes out to a bed. I don't think we've made this into a couch for 2.5 years. We're really fortunate to be able to just travel and chase nice weather. That's kind of what we do, is we try to chase 75 degrees whenever we can. So I can't imagine making the bed into a couch, so I can go sit down in the back of the couch and sit in the van. So we're always outside. We park the van, lawn chairs go out, we live outside. So so the bed's always out, and Irene, she's kind of likes to lounge, so this is her little her chair back in here. She sits back here, and then if it's raining like it was today and we have to spend time in the van, then we can flop the TV around, and then I spin that chair around. Passenger seat becomes my recliner, and yeah, so we don't spend a lot of time in the van, but sometimes it's like today was a Netflix and chill kind of morning with the pouring rain. But it's basic. We got, you know, just clothes in here and lots of storage up above the bed here. Plenty of food storage in here. 2-burner propane stove. And then the new van is gonna have a big sink. None of this RV stuff. She's got a big sink, so we do really like this fridge. I think it's a little over 5 cubic feet, and that's kind of was a deal breaker when we're looking at RVs. Was for a weekend or a couple weeks vacation to have a small refrigerator down here, but if you live in it, you want your refrigerator here. So I'm sure things will fall out. But yeah, we cook a lot. We can go, you know, a week or two without going to the store, and this has never opened up while we're driving. Thank you. Thankfully, this has never opened up while we're driving, but it's pretty neat. Pot and pan drawer here, and then this is a propane furnace. We try to live in places where we don't have to use that very often, but we have a fantastic fan here that's remote control. I don't know why the remote is. I mean, I could just sit back here and play with the fan, but it works out well. I did install a cover on it because it's got a rain sensor, and when you're cooking in the rain, you want to use your fan, and the rain shuts it off. So all the lights are LED lights. Our next van will have a light switch so you can turn them all on, but this is, you have to turn them all individually, which, I don't know, it works, but I wouldn't do it next time that way. And then we have two 200 amp hour lithium batteries, and I just put these little pieces of duct tape on there because the blue lights at night, for some reason, it just stand out. So we cover those. And then, yeah, this is just our control panel. We have power steps, inverter, our water, just the basics, battery. So, and then our power awning, push this in the awning in and out. That goes all the way out. You can sit on the floor, or on the ground, or you can mount it against the wall. When you're in the desert, it's kind of a game changer to make your own shade. And then this is our Granite Kitchen. This is our extended Granite Kitchen, which it's not a lot of kitchen space, but Irene and I can cook some pretty amazing food. If people have followed us on YouTube for a while, we do a lot of cooking, we do a lot of baking outside. We have a folding Coleman camp oven that we set up outside, and we bake apple pies, we bake bread, brownies. We're making pizzas today in the shop, so we do a lot of cooking. You get creative. We don't do a lot of cooking inside here. So, and then I'll put this down and I'll show you our wet bath. We do have 36 gallons of fresh water, and then this is our bathroom, shower, storage, laundry bag. So we have black and a gray tank. They're not big, but we can typically go 5 or 6 days without having to worry about dumping tanks. Our next van, we're going to put in a composting toilet. So, but that's about it. It's pretty much basic. The only really addition I've done inside here was I put this sliding shelf in for extra storage when you're cooking, and then one of the neat things I really like about the electrical system on the Roadtrek is with the lithium batteries, we really plug in. We do a lot of camping on public lands, you know, all over national forest in Idaho, Montana, and then in the winter time we're down south in desert southwest, and there's BLM land everywhere, and it's beautiful. And we don't have to plug in because with our lithium, that refrigerator, unless it defrosted, we haven't had that turned off in 3 years. So what Roadtrek did on this and other models, they install a second alternator. They call it an underhood generator, but basically anytime the engine's running, those coach batteries are charging. And another option that we have on this is they call it volt start. And anytime the lithium batteries get down to about 12.7, the engine automatically starts up, runs for 30 minutes, charges the batteries, and turns back off again. So we don't use it very often, but it's kind of a backup plan. But it's nice to not have to plug in. Between the solar and just the way we travel, I mean, sometimes every day, sometimes every couple days. So just driving to new places, our battery seems to always be charged, so we never have to worry about it too much. There's some storage up in here, and then what we do in the evening when we go to bed is we just flop this down, and it's pretty rudimentary, but it blacks it out enough to it works. There's so many things about this van that when you don't have a shop and you live on the road, I'll be doing this in a parking lot of a store somewhere, so I call a lot of these things permanent temporary fixes. So this will be a temporary fix, and then it lasts that way for years. So it's not the prettiest, but it works great. So yeah, so we have this one locked out all the time because I get tired of it coming in and out, but basically when you open the door, they come out and then they go back in. I just got tired of waiting for it to come out, so I just disconnected it right there. Propane is under here. And the last guy broke the thing off and lost it. That changed it. I didn't notice it till after we were gone, so I got to find another cap for that. But our next van will be 600 amps of lithium, no propane, no black tank. We'll just have composting toilet and a gray tank. So simple is better. This is extra way to drain a tank with a water pump. There's it on the other side, you can drain it with gravity, and this side here you can drain it with a water pump. And then if we want to plug in, which or with water, this is where we plug in. I never have. We just don't do it. We just keep our tank full. If we stay in a campground, when we leave, we top the tank off. It just doesn't make any sense for me to plug in because we're always on the move. And then this is a Fiamma bike rack that I installed. And then this is our bedroom. and this is my garage. So. And then we have that's a TV antenna, which we really don't watch much TV, and then backup cameras. This is where we plug in at if we need to, but unless it's going to be someplace where we want to run the air conditioner for hours on end, we pretty much just don't plug in. So, and then outdoor shower here, which I love the outdoor shower. I do a lot of running and biking, and so if you're out in the desert Southwest and you're all alone, there's no one around for miles, and you come back from a run, you can just stand outside and take a shower. It's awesome. This is where our black and gray tank, the dump area, is. We have 300 watts of solar on the roof, and that seems to work pretty well. On the new van, I'm going to try to get at least 400. So obviously the sunset's not a factory thing. That was something that on that first trip we went south, that first winter 3 years ago, I'd never been to the desert Southwest, and I had in my mind of this kind of barren, sandy, dirty area. But I got down there, and it was beautiful, and every night it was like the sunset's amazing. The next night, oh, that's the best sunset I've ever seen. The next night, I mean, every sunset in a desert is just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And so this kind of inspired her to design this. And then the guy we know back in Oregon has a sign shop, so he made this vinyl wrap for us. And I wasn't too keen on it at first, but it's grown on me. We haven't lost it in the parking lot of the grocery store for a long time.
It's
so.
true. Next one will just be white.
Next one will be white, yeah.
Now, you spoke about it earlier in the video about what your life was like prior to this, and what would you say for our viewers? We have a lot of people that are exploring the idea of buying a van or converting a van. What are some of the things, maybe like tips you could give them to get started?
Well, I wouldn't go and spend a fortune on something like a really expensive high-end RV if you don't know anything about it, you haven't been in one before, because you don't know until you do it. We got lucky with this one, but I would say for me, what I tell people is find something that's more inexpensive that you can start off with, and then until you're doing it, you really don't know what I mean, we've evolved so much in the last 3 years, and but I think once you do it for a while, then you
really get it dialed in.
And tour RVs, go to RV shows, walk through them. When we first got this one, as you notice when you're inside there, it's very wide. She can be at the sink and I can actually walk behind her. And a lot of them, for us, we like the width. For full time,
You got to be able to move.
You got to move around
we call
in
it
there.
the van dance.
Yeah, the van dance. But a lot of them, especially the Mercedes, are much narrower. And so a lot of them, when they design it, someone has to move out of the way before you can go by.
Yeah.
And so
But that would be perfect for a single person.
Right.
Or, I mean, there's something for everybody out there. It's just kind of hard maybe to find.
Yeah, depending on what you carry with you.
Yeah.
As far as toys and stuff you carry with you. Some people get the beds that, it's the two, instead of having the rear-facing couch, there's the bench on both sides that come together as a bed. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't work for us because we like to leave the bed down, so you couldn't access the drawers under those benches. So, but if you're going to make your bed up every day, maybe that's a better setup for you. But it's really hard to tell someone what type of van or RV to go for until they have to kind of experience a bit. But I've seen people that have followed our channel and I'm going to go buy exactly what they have, and then they message us and
might not have worked out as planned, but you know what?
Yeah.
That's the great thing about life. If try everything once, right? If it interests you, go for it. If you have something you just are dying to do, you've got to try it.
Yeah.
It's better to have tried and, how's that saying go, and failed than not tried at all.
Yeah.
Then at least you have no regrets. But
yeah, and I would say for us it was an evolution to full time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But
we really got this. My grandparents had camper vans when I was small growing up, and we never camped in them, we would just go over to their house and we would take it to the grocery store, take it to the restaurant, and I would always ride with them in the camper van. And I loved that because they had a table in the back and they had a fridge and they had, you know, it was just a really cool idea for me as a child. Like, here's this house with wheels and we're taking it to the grocery store. So it's kind of where the idea came from for us, really, initially.
Yeah, it was all her fault. I thought we were just going to have a little cheap camper van. And
well, we originally were looking on Craigslist for, you know, $5,000–6,000 van to go tool around in. So somehow we ended up here. We traded both vehicles in on it and here we are.
Yeah, the dealership in Oregon actually had a car dealership and an RV dealership, so we were able to trade both of them in, and it worked out great. I have no regrets about the Roadtrek at all. We've had, I mean, we have very little issues.
No, and the Dodge chassis has been fantastic too.
Yeah, we're just over 80,000 miles on this, and the only issue we've had with the ProMaster was we had a bad spark plug, and as with most modern vehicles,
you don't change.
I thought I was going to change a spark plug, and I went on YouTube and I have to pull the intake manifold off to change a spark plug. So anyway, we changed all the spark plugs, and that's been the only issue. As far as the Roadtrek itself, well, the fridge door fell off once.
Yeah, but that's
on a video too.
We take this van down some crazy roads. Like, we love the back roads, we love gravel roads, we love dirt roads. Like, we like to get off the beaten path. So this thing's been some places. Pistol's been places. She's probably been to 36 states and 5 provinces and hiked in every single one of them.
Yeah, it's the one thing we really enjoy. It's been a struggle here because we're here building a van, and we're typically on the move, like what's up the road. And the thing I like about the van is, as to pulling a trailer, if you're gonna pull a trailer, you want to stay for a while. I pull them someplace, I put it in park, put the lawn chairs out, good to go. Next day on the road. And we've crossed the continent in 3 years 9 times. So, in mostly different roads.
But never in a hurry.
Yeah, we've been across Canada twice, and you could never see it all.
No.
The thing I've learned is the longer we've done this and the more we travel, the more I know none of us get to live long enough to see everything there is to see. There's so much out there. You take one state, for example, Texas or Montana. You could travel one of those states for years and never see everything. You know, we've been through Texas 5 or 6 times, and every time I go to a new state, I have in my mind what I think it's going to be like. And I'm always wrong.
We're always surprised, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so. Yeah. There's places that I thought Texas would be terrible, just flat, barren. But Texas has some beautiful places, hill country. It's awesome.
I know you mentioned in the video that you're building another van, and I believe you're covering this in YouTube videos.
Yes.
So could you tell our viewers how they're going to be able to find you on social media and YouTube?
Yeah, our last name is Carey, C-A-R-E-Y. And so our YouTube channel is Carry On Vagabond, and it was something that we started when we first took off. When we started, we didn't know anything about YouTube videos.
I didn't have a computer, we didn't have a camera, never done editing in my life, so we went to Best Buy, got a GoPro, bought a laptop, and from day one we started doing this just to keep in touch with people back home. So one of the sacrifices of being on the road full time is, you know, you miss family and friends from your home area. So it was kind of a way for us to keep in touch with them more than just sending a photo. Or
that was probably the main thing that we started the channel for, was to document that, but to have, you know, our family be able to be part of what we're doing, as opposed to a phone call or a Facebook picture now and then. But it's turned into be so much more than that. We've met amazing people through the channel. One of the biggest things that I didn't think about was we didn't realize how much we're going to travel. I mean, I think close to 40 states that we've been through multiple times. I can't imagine in 3 years all the things we've done, all the things we've seen. If we hadn't been doing this, we'd have thousands and thousands of pictures, and I wouldn't know where it was. It was like, was that Canada? Was that the U.S.? You know, you wouldn't know. So now it's like this documentation of our journey, and that's kind of what our channel is mainly. It's just been just kind of a travel
Just a daily
adventure,
vlog kind of
places
thing.
we see and things
Yeah, so
that
the
we
van
do.
build thing is a little bit different for us. We don't typically do that kind of thing, but since we've been here, we've started doing that. So it's Carry On Vagabond. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and that's our email too. So you can get in touch that way.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to include links in the description of this video so my viewers could find you and hopefully subscribe to your page, and maybe give you some Patreon money. I see that on the website too. They accept that, help you with your journeys. And I really appreciate Dave and Irene and Pistol for doing the tour of the van today.
It's very strange for us because we're usually not the ones having people film us. I'm like all awkward.
I know.
Usually it's me and her, and we're just doing our thing. And now it's like some guy I just met is pointing a camera at me, and it's like it's awkward, but
It's good for us.
yeah, it's good. So now we're going to take a video tour of your van for our channel.
Yes, that's next. So you'll be able to see their video of me now on their channel, so hopefully you guys could enjoy that. Well, thank you for being a guest here on New Jersey Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel.
Carry on.
This is Patrick. I hope you like this video. Please comment, share, and subscribe. I'd love it, and we'll see you soon.